I never thought I would be the kind of person to share something like this, but I cannot keep it to myself anymore. It has been 3 days since I received the video. 3 days since my best friend, Claire, sent me the proof that shattered everything I believed about my relationship. 3 days since I decided to say nothing. For now, I am not even sure why I am writing this. Maybe I need to get it out of my system before I do something drastic. Maybe I want validation that my silence is justified. Or maybe I just want someone to tell me that I am not completely losing my mind. Because right now, I feel like I am on the edge of something dangerous. And if I take one wrong step, there is no coming back. Let me start from the beginning. I have been with Daniel for almost 4 years. He is the kind of guy everyone loves, charming, easygoing, and always the life of the party. He has this way of making you feel like you are the only person in the room, like your words matter more than anyone else's. That is what drew me to him in the first place. We met in college, one of those cliché bumped into each other at a coffee shop moments. I was running late for class, fumbling with my books, and he was standing in line, looking effortlessly cool in his leather jacket. He caught my books before they hit the ground, and the rest was history. At least, that is how I like to tell the story. For the most part, our relationship was good. Or at least, that is what I thought. We had our ups and downs like any couple, but I never had a reason to doubt him. I never thought he was the kind of guy who would cheat. And then Claire sent me the video. Claire has been my best friend since we were kids. She is the type of person who would rather rip off a band-aid than let you suffer in ignorance. So when she texted me, "I need to send you something. Please promise me you will not freak out," I already knew it was bad. The video came through a few seconds later. A shaky, low-quality clip, like it had been taken in a hurry. At first, I could not even process what I was seeing. It was a dimly lit bar, music blasting in the background, bodies moving in every direction. But then I saw him, Daniel, his arms wrapped around another girl. And not in a friendly way. She was leaning into him, her hands tangled in his hair, his lips on her neck. They were laughing, whispering to each other, completely lost in their own little world. And then, as if that was not damning enough, he kissed her. Not a peck. Not a drunken mistake. A full slow kiss. I felt my stomach drop. My hands went cold. My brain refused to believe what my eyes were seeing. I must have watched that video 20 times, looking for some excuse, some way to explain it away. Maybe it was an old video. Maybe it was a prank. Maybe. But then I saw the date in the corner of the screen. It was from last night. Claire's message popped up before I could even react. "I am so sorry. I did not know if I should send this, but I could not keep it from you. I was at the bar with some coworkers and I saw him. He did not see me. I took the video before I left. I had to tell you." I did not respond. Not to Claire. Not to Daniel. Not to anyone. I just sat there, staring at the screen, feeling like my entire world had tilted on its axis. I could have confronted him right then. I could have called him, screamed at him, demanded answers. But instead I did nothing. Because I needed to think. Because if I was going to deal with this, I wanted to do it on my own terms. For now I would stay silent. I did not sleep that night. I just lay there, my phone screen burning into my eyes, watching the video over and over until the images blurred together. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Daniel with her. The way he smiled at her. The way he touched her. The way he kissed her. I needed answers, but I was not ready to ask the questions. Not yet. The next morning, I forced myself to act normal. I got out of bed, made coffee, and sat in the kitchen like it was any other day. My hands were shaking when I picked up my mug. My stomach was in knots. I kept glancing at my phone, half expecting Daniel to text me, to slip up in some way. But he did not. And that hurt even more. If he had been with her last night, where was he now? Was he still with her? Was he lying to my face right now, pretending everything was fine? At exactly 10:07 a.m., my phone lit up. "Daniel, morning, babe. You busy today?" I stared at the message, my pulse pounding in my ears. How could he act so normal? How could he pretend nothing had happened? I typed a response, deleted it, typed another one, and deleted that too. I had no idea what to say. Every fiber of my being was screaming at me to ask him outright. Who was she? How long has this been going on? Did you ever love me? But instead I typed, me not really. Why? It was the most excruciating 5 seconds of my life waiting for his reply. Daniel, I was thinking we could grab lunch later. I miss you. Miss me. My fingers tightened around my phone. I wanted to scream. I wanted to laugh. He missed me? Less than 12 hours after shoving his tongue down another girl's throat? For the first time in our entire relationship, I felt nothing but cold, raw hatred for him. But I forced myself to stay calm. I needed to be smart. If I accused him now, he would deny it. Maybe he would spin some excuse, gaslight me into thinking I was imagining things. Or maybe he would just apologize, beg for forgiveness, and promise it would never happen again. I was not ready to hear any of that. I needed to see how far he was willing to take the lie. So I said yes. I agreed to lunch. And then I waited. I met him at our usual spot, a small cafe downtown where we always went for casual dates. He was already there when I arrived, sitting in our booth, scrolling through his phone like nothing was wrong. Like he had not shattered everything we had built together. Hey babe, he said, flashing me that same charming smile. You look beautiful. Beautiful. I clenched my jaw so hard I thought my teeth might crack. I slid into the seat across from him, forcing myself to keep my expression neutral. I could not let him see how much I knew. He reached across the table, taking my hand in his. His touch felt foreign. How was your night? He asked. There it was. A test. A game. If I told him the truth, that I had spent the night watching the video of him cheating on me, what would he say? Would he admit it? Would he laugh it off? I took a slow breath, steadying myself. It was fine, I lied. Just a quiet night at home. His grip on my hand tightened slightly. I saw it then, the flicker of something in his eyes. Was it guilt? Or was it relief? He nodded, smiling like everything was perfectly normal. Same here, he said. Just a chill night with the guys. I wanted to throw my drink in his face. Instead, I smiled. That sounds nice. I watched him carefully, studying every detail. His body language, his tone, the way he carried himself. He was so comfortable lying to me. It was effortless for him. And that was what hurt the most. If Claire had not been there, if she had not taken that video, I never would have known. He would have come to lunch like this, held my hand, kissed me goodbye, and gone right back to her. How many times had he done this before? How many times had I missed it? The thought made me sick. Are you okay? He asked suddenly, tilting his head. You seem off. Off. I almost laughed. I wanted to ask him the same thing. I wanted to ask how he could sit there, look me in the eyes, and pretend. But I did not. Instead, I squeezed his hand, forcing a small smile. Just a little tired, I said. That is all. Maybe you need a vacation, he teased, winking at me. I could take you somewhere nice. Just us. I nearly choked on my water. Just us. The audacity of this man. I wanted to say, is that what you said to her too? Instead, I nodded. That sounds nice. We ate lunch. We talked. We laughed. And the whole time, I wanted to scream. But I stayed silent. For now. Because I was not done yet. That night, I sat in bed staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. The lunch had proven what I already suspected. Daniel was a liar. A good one. He had looked me in the eyes, held my hand, and smiled like nothing had happened. Like he had not been with another girl just hours before. I could not let this go. I needed to do something. But it had to be on my terms. Claire called me around midnight. Did you talk to him? She asked immediately. I hesitated. Not yet. There was silence on the other end. Then, what do you mean, not yet? I rubbed my temples, sighing. I need to be smart about this, Claire. If I just confront him, he will lie. You saw how easily he acts normal. I need proof he cannot deny. I need him to trap himself. Claire was quiet for a long time. Then she said, what are you planning? I hesitated before answering. I need to catch him in the act. The plan was simple. Step 1, act normal. Step 2, wait for him to slip up. Step 3, catch him red-handed. It took 3 days. 3 long days of pretending, of smiling, of letting him kiss me like his lips had not been on someone else. Every time he texted me good morning, every time he told me he loved me, it felt like a fresh stab to the chest. But I waited. And then on Friday night he finally slipped. Daniel told me he had plans with the guys. A casual line, said without hesitation. But something in my gut told me this was it. I called Claire immediately. Tonight is the night, I told her. She did not even hesitate. Tell me where. The bar was packed when we got there. Music thumping so loud I could feel it in my chest. Claire and I slipped inside unnoticed, finding a spot near the back, where we had a clear view of the crowd. And then there he was, Daniel. And he was not alone. The girl from the video was with him, sitting way too close, her fingers tracing circles on his arm. I felt my stomach twist, but I forced myself to stay calm. I needed more. Claire nudged me. Do you want to record it? I already had my phone in my hand. Yes. I hit record. It was worse than I expected. He was not just flirting. He was completely engrossed in her, laughing, whispering in her ear, touching her like she belonged to him. And then just like before he kissed her. My fingers clenched around my phone so tightly I thought I might crush it. This was it. The final proof. The rage inside me was white hot. But I did not let it show. I wanted to storm over there, scream at him, throw my drink in his face. But I had a better idea. Let's go, I told Claire. I have seen enough. She looked at me like I had lost my mind. You are just going to walk away? I smiled, slipping my phone into my pocket. Not yet. I had one more step left. Step 4, make him regret it. The walk back to my car was silent. Claire kept glancing at me like she was waiting for me to break down, to scream, to cry something. But I was calm. Too calm. Are you sure you are okay? She finally asked as we reached my car. I unlocked the door and turned to face her. I am fine. She did not look convinced. You just saw your boyfriend, your ex-boyfriend, cheating on you again. And you are just fine. I slid into the driver's seat and exhaled slowly. I do not feel anything right now. But I will. Later. Claire frowned but did not push it. So, what now? Are you going to confront him? A small, cold smile tugged at my lips. No. Her eyebrows shot up. No. I shook my head. I have a better idea. I spent the entire night crafting my next move. I knew confronting Daniel face to face would be useless. He would deny it, twist the truth, make himself the victim. Maybe he would even try to gaslight me into thinking I was overreacting. No, he did not deserve a confrontation. He did not deserve closure. I wanted him to lose everything. By morning, my plan was in place. Step 1, expose him. Step 2, disappear. The next day, I sent the video to Daniel's entire social circle. His friends, his family, even his co-workers. I made sure to include a simple, clear message. I thought you all should see the kind of person Daniel really is. Then I blocked him. Blocked his number. Blocked him on social media. Blocked his email. No explanations. No arguments. No second chances. Just silence. I expected the fallout to be immediate. I was not wrong. Within 20 minutes, Daniel was calling me nonstop. Within an hour, my inbox was flooded with texts from mutual friends, half of them shocked. The other half saying they always suspected something was off. By noon, Claire sent me a message. Claire, he is losing it. He called me, begging me to make you talk to him. He says he can explain. I laughed when I read it. Explain? What was there to explain? I had seen it with my own eyes. Twice. And I was done. The next few days were blissfully quiet. No more pretending. No more waiting. No more wondering if I was crazy. I was free. Until Daniel showed up at my door. It was almost midnight when I heard the knock. I knew it was him before I even looked. My heart pounded. But I refused to let him see that he still had any effect on me. I took a slow breath, squared my shoulders and opened the door. There he was. His hair was a mess, his eyes wild. He looked nothing like the confident liar I had sat across from at lunch just days ago. Why are you here? I asked, my voice flat. He ran a hand through his hair, exhaling shakily. Can we talk? Please. I folded my arms. There is nothing to talk about. Come on, you did not even let me explain. His voice cracked slightly, as if he were actually in pain. Good. I tilted my head, pretending to think. Explain what exactly? The part where you lied to my face? Or the part where you threw away a 3-year relationship for? I gestured vaguely. Whatever the hell that was. He flinched. It was a mistake. I laughed, the sound bitter. A mistake. His jaw clenched. I love you. I rolled my eyes. Love? Daniel, you cheated. That is not love. That is selfishness. His expression darkened. I did not mean to hurt you. That is the thing, I said, my voice cold. You never thought about me. Not once. Not when you kissed her. Not when you lied to my face. You only care now because you got caught. His face twisted, like he wanted to argue, but he had no defense left. I stepped back, gripping the edge of the door. We are done, Daniel. You do not exist to me anymore. Go. He took a shaky breath. Please just. I shut the door in his face. And this time, I felt everything. Relief. Closure. Freedom. I thought that was the end of it. But Daniel had one last trick up his sleeve. I should have known Daniel would not go down quietly. For the next week, he tried everything. First, the apologies. Texts. Calls. Voicemails. Messages through mutual friends. All variations of the same pathetic script. I messed up. It was a mistake. I will do anything to fix this. Then came the guilt trips. We were together for 3 years. Does that mean nothing to you? I was going through a rough time. You are overreacting. I ignored him, but he did not stop. Then the anger came. It started with petty insults. You are being dramatic. You will never find someone who loves you like I do. You think you are perfect. You are not. Then the blame shifting. You pushed me away. You never trusted me anyway. You were too busy with your own life to notice I was struggling. And my personal favorite. Claire poisoned you against me. As if I had not seen him cheating with my own eyes. The final straw came when Claire sent me a screenshot. Daniel had posted about me on social media. A long self-pitying rant about how I was a cold-hearted, unforgiving, bitter ex, who had ruined his life over one small mistake. And people believed him. His friends, people I had known for years, commented things like, "She should have given you a second chance. Everyone makes mistakes. You are better off without her." I saw red. I had stayed quiet. I had handled things privately. But if he wanted to drag this into the public eye, fine. Two could play that game. I took my time. First, I gathered every piece of evidence I had. The video Claire had sent me, the one I had taken at the bar, screenshots of his texts, his pathetic attempts to manipulate me. Then I wrote my own post. The truth. I did not call him names. I did not have to. I simply laid out the facts. I posted the video. I posted the screenshots. I explained in calm, measured words what he had done. And then I let people decide for themselves. The response was immediate. The comments flipped instantly. People who had defended him deleted their comments. His friends, the ones who had supported him, went silent. Some even messaged me privately to apologize. And Daniel, he deleted his post. Then he deleted his entire account. Then he disappeared. A few weeks later, Claire and I went out for dinner, just the two of us. "So," she said, raising an eyebrow. "How does it feel?" I knew what she meant. How does it feel to be free of him? How does it feel to have finally gotten justice? I took a sip of my drink and smiled. Like I can finally breathe again. Claire grinned. "Good. You deserve that." And for the first time in a long time, I believed it. I had lost 3 years of my life to someone who never deserved me. But I had gained something much more valuable. Myself. Final thought. If there is one thing I have learned from this, it is this. Silence is a weapon. I could have screamed at Daniel the moment I saw that video. I could have confronted him. Let him twist the truth. Let him convince me I was being unreasonable. But I did not. I waited. I planned. And in the end, I made sure that the only thing left of him in my life was the lesson he taught me. Some people do not deserve closure. Some people deserve to be forgotten. And that is exactly what I am going to do.